And now if you type my name into Google, Google suggests, did you mean Chris McCausland, me too? And people must think, what's he been doing? What's he flapping his arms around, pretending he doesn't know what's in front of him?
Well, I'm very excited to say that we have got some guests in the studio.
We have
finally made it. We have got one of the funniest men from British comedy and Lee Mack. The pair of them.
I like it.
I wonder where that was going.
It's good already.
I got a feeling that Chris has been working on that all week.
I have.
Do you think I could say this? Will that be allowed?
Chris McCausland and Lee Mack are here in the studio. Hooray!
Nice. Yeah.
Chris was late because he's won Strictly, so he's a big star.
This is what happens when I drive myself in.
I was thinking that. I was thinking, because I went to watch him on Saturday, and he was, you can imagine being adored by millions for, I hope it's not going to change him. First day back at work, he's half an hour late.
Exactly.
Do the first interview on your own, he said. I mean,
and so it starts, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, you shed a tear, though, didn't you, on Saturday night?
Oh, absolutely.
Camera caught you wiping one away.
I mean, that's
moved you, did it?
I just wanted to make sure that you got that extra vote, so I just put my finger in my eye for a second. That's all I did.
I bumped into Anton de Beck, who was in the building on Monday morning, and he said, did you watch it? I said, no, I didn't, Anton, to be fair. I find the dancing gets in the way of that show a little bit too much. Do you know what I mean? It's all about the judges, isn't it? The dancers come and go, but it's about the judges, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? But you got
the best noise though, doesn't he? Anton de Beck, when he likes something, he goes, oh, the footwork, oh.
You got asked to do it a few times.
Yeah. I'm terrified, mate. Didn't think I could do it, so just no. Didn't even think about it. Just kept on saying no. And I'd let myself think about it really for this year, and weighed up the massive risk against what it could do really, being the first blind person to do it. I knew, apart from the dancing, I knew everything else. I was probably in a really good position to do that well, represent well, and do it positively and funny and all that. It's just the dancing was a problem, Chris.
Which is quite a large part of that, isn't it, sadly?
Yeah.
It's a lot. Lee, would you ever do it?
Well,
I suppose you wouldn't need to because your career's fine, so you wouldn't.
Isn't he lovely?
Isn't he though?
I'll tell you not, if you'd have asked me that question before he did it, I might have had a different answer, but now he's been texting me during the making of Strictly, and I now realise how brutally hard it is. Right. He's been complaining about his feet and his legs, and it's a very painful thing if you're not a dancer, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
So
they treat you like you're a professional athlete from day one, and I just sit on a stool for a living.
I did find myself this morning looking at the text that I'd sent back and forth before he did it, and him going, do you think I should do Strictly? I've been offered it, and we were going back and forward with the text, and I read one thing I'd written, which was, what I like about you doing it, Chris, is you won't do all the tears and stuff. What you'll do is crack the gags.
Yeah.
Tuned in last week, bawling his eyes out.
It gets you, doesn't it?
Gets you.
It's a lot of work, though. It's a lot of work. Because
have you done it?
No.
Would you do it?
No.
Why? You did the jungle, didn't you?
Yeah.
It's 3 weeks though, isn't it?
Tax bill, yeah. But no one. Well, that's the thing, and that's in and out. Whereas Strictly is like, it's what, 3 months, something like that.
Yeah, but at least you get to go home in the jungle. You're not going home,
true.
are you?
Yeah.
No, but
is that part of the benefit for you?
Can't be out of the house. But it's two different shows, I guess. I always said I wouldn't do anything like that, but then. The
tax bill came.
Do you know what it was? I got asked. I've been asked so many times, and then for whatever reason, that year I said yes. I thought, my assistant said to me, take the meet, just have the meeting, have a meeting with them at least.
And then that's it, innit?
And then they just blow smoke up your backside, and you're like...
That's probably one of the challenges, isn't it?
I thought for a minute you said take the meat. I thought you just insisted on being paid in meat.
Not take the meat
I'll
in.
do it if it's
you don't want
kilograms of beef.
I'll tell you what, you don't want to be paid in meat from the jungle because God knows what's in it.
Do you know, we were saying, when did your show start, Lee? When did the sitcom start?
It was first broadcast in 2006.
Wow.
So we're coming up to almost 20 years.
Wow.
By the time we finish this run, it'll be almost 20. Yeah. Or as the last radio station that we just went in, your little sister station Capital, they just asked me, have you ever considered doing a reboot of Not Going Out? I said, it's still on.
That's nice. I mean, everyone's a critic,
I kind of thinking your listeners are a bit more my demographic than perhaps Capital.
The problem is, Lee, it's not on TikTok. That's
true.
The problem.
That's it.
Chris was in an episode.
Yeah, it was. I mean, that was lots of fun. Really, never first experience of kind of.
Well, that's when I first realised he'd be good on Strictly, because we had to set it on a stage for some reason. It had to be raised off the ground. It was on a train, but the train has to get wobbled, so you have to raise the whole thing off the ground. And so it's a bit of a drop, you know. And he was just running around that stage and getting like an inch from the edge without a care in the world for health and safety. And we were all like, Chris, and he's going, I'm fine. And I realised his spatial awareness is beyond anything we can imagine.
Yes.
And I noticed that he did a great show called Scared of the Dark. Was it called Scared of the Dark?
Yeah, Channel 4.
I don't know if you saw that on Channel 4, where all these celebrities were locked in pitch black, and they got Chris in as well. And suddenly, everyone just couldn't move. They were like, Chris, can you take me to the toilet? And he just instantly knew where everything was, you know.
I'd say Chris Eubank to the toilet whenever he wanted a wee.
I'll tell you, I've got to be honest, that show passed me by, but what a strange show, Channel 4, you say, where you just took famous people to the toilet.
Yes.
Was this a one-off, or was it an entire series?
Oh, it was 8 days locked in complete pitch black, and they couldn't see their hands in front of their face. And the mess they made when they ate, it's like they couldn't even find their mouths.
I wouldn't be.
But I was the only one that could do anything. But when I did Lee's sitcom, Lee goes to me, because I was a bit worried about being able to, you know, you're performing in front of an audience and you've got to hit your marks for the cameras and things like that. And I said to Lee, I don't know if I can do this, mate. He goes, it's fine. All we do scenes, we break it up into scenes, we'll do a little bit, we'll do it a few times, then we'll do the next little bit a few times. I said, okay, that's a safety net. Anyway, we get round to it, and what we ended up with was one real-time episode that was one scene from start to finish.
The whole thing without a break. I knew that. I knew that's what we wanted, but if I ever tell him that, he won't do it.
Oh, yeah, it's just one scene, Chris. We'll just do it three times.
This is a long scene, Lee. It's fine, it's fine.
It'll come to an end eventually. You just keep talking.
So the reason that the guys are in today is because Lee and Chris are starring in a one-off comedy Christmas drama called Bad Tidings. Not Bad Timings, it's Bad Tidings.
Bad Tidings.
Yeah.
It's launching on Sky Max, Sky Showcase, and now at 7:30 p.m. on Sunday, the 22nd of December.
Oh, now. So actually, now is the station.
Now
I thought you'd said that meant they'd changed the time.
No.
And now at 7:30.
How old are
So
you?
what time was
It's
it?
confusing though, isn't it? Because it used to be Now TV, which made sense, and then they got rid of the TV, and you do have to say it's on Sunday now. And
That is true.
Yeah.
They keep taking these things off. It's like Prime Video is now called Prime, so you go to on Prime, and you're like, what?
Why do they change it?
Isn't UK TV just you?
Just,
I mean, Starburst was Starburst, Opal Fruits.
Opal Fruits.
Do you know what I mean?
Marathon
Snickers.
Yeah.
Ajax. Sif.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, Jif. Wasn't it Jif?
Jif.
Oh, no, Jif was
Jif became Sif.
Oil of Olay is Ulay, or the other way around. It's oil of Olay.
Imperial Leather, that's still Imperial Leather. Do you know what? Someone told me why it's called Imperial Leather. Do you know this? Very strange name, Imperial Leather. Well, how would you want to associate a soap with leather? Like it's bad for your skin and makes it leathery. Apparently, it was a printing error about 120 years ago or something when it first got invented. It's supposed to say Imperial Lather.
Stop.
Someone put an E in there, thought it's too late, we'll just keep the packaging. That's what I got told might be an urban myth. Don't shoot me.
Well, I had the same about Donkey Kong. I heard it was meant to be Monkey Kong, and they spelled it in Japan.
Oh, really?
Makes sense, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, because it's not a donkey.
He's a monkey.
Do you know what? I honestly, Chris, I was worried with your humour where you were going with that line. It's the same with Donkey Kong. That's meant to be Donkey Kong. No. So this is written by Chris.
And two of the guys from Ghosts, Lawrence Ricard, Martha Howe Douglas, who are in Ghosts, and they write on Ghosts, and
they're in Ghosts, aren't they?
Larry plays the caveman, Martha plays Lady Button, and Ghosts is such a brilliant comedy, you know. So it's worked really well. It's turned out exactly how I wanted it to turn out. Just daft, silly, slapstick, Christmas family nonsense, really.
It says here, the premise of it is that, I'm not sure how believable this is, Lee Mack stars as a grumpy security expert, Neil.
No. Yeah. Well, you know, what you mean, because my real name's not Neil. It's called acting, mate. It was really annoying, actually, because Chris asked me to be in it, and he promised me that it would be broken up into lots of little scenes. I got there, it was just one continuous thing. Unbelievable.
That is terrible.
So, Chris plays the annoyingly perfect neighbour, Scott.
Yeah.
So you wrote this. So you're the perfect neighbour.
Yeah.
And Lee is the grumpy security fella.
Yeah, well, I'm perfect to everybody else, but I poke Lee with a stick.
I've got the cut of his jib. It's a bit like real life. Everyone loves Chris in real life, but I know him well enough to know I've got the cut of his jib.
Yeah.
I know what's really going on. Do you know what I mean? He's
the dark evil
dark side to it,
that wants Strictly.
But everybody thinks he's going mad, you see.
Yeah. Everyone thinks I'm paranoid, but he's...
you know the truth.
We wind each other up, and Lee/Neil ends up blowing the power for the whole street on Christmas Eve, and hilarity ensues.
Can I just say, by the way, what Chris has just done there is very professional because he's just summed it up. Last time we did this, he told the whole story from beginning to end.
Oh, that's nice.
Everything that is in the film. You didn't even need to watch it. He's finally learned how to do it.
I was on Graham Norton. I was sat next to Nicole Kidman, and I panicked, and I just kept on talking.
Just told the whole story.
Well, this show starts at 7:30, Sunday the 22nd of December, Sky Max, Sky Showcase, and now...
And now what?
Yeah.
What are we doing now?
And now I'm going to ask you another question.
All right.
So that's what you're about to do. Now, you don't have your headphones on, which
I'll
is...
put them on.
There you
I'll
go.
put them on.
Got 'em on.
Oh, you got them on. Because, Lee, and the chances are the answer is probably yes. But I want to ask you a question, Lee.
All right, okay.
And that question is, does this mean anything to you?
And remember, there's nothing like a splash of colour to cheer up a grey day.
Thanks, Granny Murray. I'll see you later.
We'll be thinking of you.
Me too.
Now, you keep a wee iron ready and make sure he goes the right way to work.
So, I'm going to ask you...
For a minute, I thought you were going to be winding Lee up, not me.
No. Do you know what that is?
Do you know what? I'm going to have a guess.
Oh.
Is that from the children's television show Me Too?
Yes, the unfortunately titled kids' TV show Me Too.
Yes.
Starring Chris McCausland. Oh, no, Chris, you got to put the headphones back on because if we've got to listen to this hell, then you have to listen to it too. Have you ever thought to yourself, I wonder how Chris gets to work every day?
I'm on my way. I'll sing it for you live if you want. I can remember it.
To work today, I'm walking me shoes through the city views. I'm stepping along and I'm swinging
28 years old. Listen to me voice. Beautiful, isn't it?
my way through the city's charm.
Great lyrics.
Getting
I'll tell you what, realising this is how he goes to work every morning, singing slowly like this, I realised why he was late for first
in time, I always go.
Go on.
The way I know, but
Yes.
can you tell me the way I go?
How much are we listening
which
to
way?
it, Chris?
What?
And do I go
Oh, the whole
left
thing.
now?
It's the 12 inch as well. It's really good.
It's brilliant. The premise of the song is that Chris... sorry, it's not Chris. What's the character's
Rudy.
name? Rudy.
Yeah.
Rudy's saying to the viewers, I'm on my way to work today, but which way do I go? Now, we don't know.
No.
Because we're kids.
Well, it's a thriller, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cliffhanger.
And also, you've got a blind man say, I'm going to work, which way do I go?
Yeah.
So are you asking for help? So it's not a game. Do you need help? And then he goes, I'm going this way.
Yeah.
Oh, I know a weird voice, which sounds like you, goes, go to the right. So he goes to the right, and he goes up the steps to the market. It's a long journey. A very long journey.
It is, and if I remember rightly, I think on different episodes I went different ways, but ended up in the same place. So the logic had holes. This is the problem with this show as well. It was 2006, obviously before Me Too meant other things.
Yeah.
And now if you type my name into Google suggests, did you mean Chris McCausland Me Too? And people must think, what's he been doing? What's he flapping his arms around?
Yeah.
He doesn't know what's in front of him.
It's a lovely thing. It's a lovely video. I'll send you the video.
Oh, lovely. I love it. I'm YouTubing that when I get out.
Yeah, absolutely.
You'll watch that on repeat. I'm telling you,
definitely.
it'll go through the roof. Lovely to see you both. Are you once your interviews are done for this? Are you done for Christmas? Are you all ready to chill out with the families and whatnot?
No, I'm not ready at all. I'm not ready for Christmas, one iota.
No.
I've done nothing. I've put a tree up, and that's it. I've never decorated it.
I'm relying on Amazon next day delivery still.
We all are.
Yeah, I think so.
Do you think if you order on Christmas morning, it gets there by Christmas afternoon?
I'm going to be honest, I'm not sure.
Guaranteed.
I might play safe and order it on Christmas Eve about 8 o'clock in the evening then.
Exactly fine.
I mean,
What are you going to do, though? You've got presents to buy for people. Have you done cards? I bet you don't do cards.
well, my wife's very good at sending cards.
Right.
I'm less good. So, no, I haven't done any cards whatsoever. But I like to give people just a little smile and a wave and maybe a little joke. And you can't buy laughter, can you? It's a gift that keeps on giving. Absolutely. I'll just ring them up, tell them a joke and say, there you go, that's my present to you.
Oh, that's
In fact,
lovely.
that's what I do for my wife. I wake up, tell her a joke, say that's your Christmas present.
Oh,
And she's definitely gets emotional because she cries.
Yeah,
I've
I
just
would imagine.
spilled a whole coffee cup on the floor. I'm so sorry.
It's fine. It wasn't fun.
So sorry.
I mean, you've got a blind man and Lee Mack, and who is it
That drips
that is the disaster?
The whole cup has just
you
gone to the floor.
two really are the brand new Les Dennis and Dustin G, aren't you?
Oh, you're so sweet.
Yeah,
You know what
and I mean that from the heart. I really,
Good. I think
really
you're the
do.
new Gary Davis.
Thank you very much.
That's nice.
I bet the old Gary Davis. Everybody watch Bad Tidings. It's on Sky, 7:30 on the Sunday, the 22nd of December. You'll be able to watch it then whenever you like. And we're going to go before Lee blows the studio up and kills us all.
Yeah, it's
Merry
fine.
Christmas to the pair
Merry
of
Christmas.
you.
Merry
Christmas,
Lovely to
guys.
see you both, ladies and gentlemen. Chris McCausland and Lee Mack.
Chris Moyles Show.
That tea up there.
Radio